Back with more Doctor Who Flux. This is episode 5, the penultimate episode of the series. This is called Survivors of the Flux, I believe. Very excited to see what's going to happen next as we kind of head into some kind of build up to the climax of the series, I would assume. And especially intrigued to see what's going to happen given the incredible cliffhanger we were left with the Doctor being recalled to Division, becoming a Weeping Angel-esque kind of deal. You know, it's not looking great for her, or anyone right now, really. So I'm really intrigued to see where we're taking things next. You know, is it going to be kind of like a Doctor-like story where we don't get much of her? Is it going to focus more so on Yaz and Dan? Are we going to get any more answers? Are we going to get any more questions? Probably. So yeah, I'm really excited to see what's next. I've been really enjoying Flux a hell of a lot. And I'm hoping that we're going to continue that with this episode. Obviously, you can probably guess it's just me this week. Connor is away in New York, living his best life. So just me this week, but he should be back for the finale next week. So yeah, I'm excited. It's about to start, so let's get into it. I love the angels using their victims' voices against them. A candle and a pot. Oh my god. These people are going to save the world, are they? Hey, buddy.
This is Division, Doctor.
Oh. Shit.
This pot can decipher the exact date the world is going to end.
No. Oh. Oh. Jericho's great. Well. Oh. He had like a snake tattoo or something.
Now we have an additional conundrum.
Oh, that'll be Grand Serpent guy, won't it?
How long did you say you'd been in the area?
Yeah. A literal snake.
No longer at all, sir. I've been tasked with setting up the British end of a new task force funded by the United Nations, dealing with threats from beyond our
Yeah, that'll be unit.
Displaced creatures who need a home, somewhere to take over. But that would mean a time of battle for ownership of the Earth. You need to
Great.
find out where and when that will be. I'm sure I miss you.
Aww.
Shh. I know you do. I hope you said I miss you too, else that bit's weird.
We will see it again. She'll be alright. Whatever she is.
Its influence is unparalleled. Its reach is unlimited.
Yeah, she's very proud of it.
It achieved its aim. We're not in the universe, Doctor.
Oh. In between them?
One of our crafts never responded to species recall. We use that to seal the breach. Why is it there?
Yeah. See you take me?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that makes sense. Well, I'm sure they'll be fine. Oh, as soon as he gets there, of course.
Someone's in a hurry to get away.
Oh, buddy.
You are both our playthings and our power source.
Oh, oh my.
We can connect with her again.
Let me show you
Mm.
multiverses. Our terminology became proto a long time ago.
Oh, everything's got a multiverse nowadays.
One universe. So the universe has to end to protect the existence of division. Precisely, which is why we engineered the Flux, shut the universe down and you within it. Except even then, you interfere.
Bloody hell.
The Flux. I'm the one who found you.
Tectane.
Gallifrey raised you. I'm Tectane.
Yeah. Some people did think that might be who she was.
Used to call mother.
our new corporal. Brought him in after we missed the whole thing at the post office tower.
Aww.
He's very good. Keeps everyone on their toes. What's that?
Huh.
Oh, this is an object we found in a deserted village in Devon. Yeah, as human as they come. Now you.
Oh.
Rather you didn't.
Nice knowing you, pal.
There you are. What do you mean?
Oh. Well, that's gross.
I prefer to be called grandson.
You're a grand something.
Just stand there, man. Call a doctor.
Haha.
Is what the master told me true?
Yes.
What if I was waiting there to be collected? What if I was supposed to be taken through it? What if whoever left me there was taken by that wormhole?
What if?
You denied me my life!
I gave you a life.
Pick people up, take them with you. You adopt them, use them for reassurance, for company.
They're your experiments, just as you and mine.
Oh boy.
We are not the same.
This just shows I was right to order your memories erased. Ood got her.
Oh.
Yes, Secretary.
Not sure I like her, you know. Seems a bit mean.
Did you not think we would detect you? No, I was pretty sure you could. What are you going to do about it?
I mean, yeah. Was this the plan, Vinda? Ah.
Finally, someone with a gun. And I, by the way, from Liverpool. And I've got some scores to settle with this lot.
All right.
Do you have anything for us? No.
Roll credits.
There's you again. We've climbed all this way for 3 words.
Well, let's hear him out first.
Fetch. Your dog. Beg your pardon? Fetch your dog.
Carvanista? Is that what we're talking about here? Whoa! Got beards and everything. Oh. Nice.
Aren't you scared for your own kind? Because that universe is full of Ood. The universe. The matter that
It's
is
true.
being compressed by
She's
the
doing that inspiring thing Tecteun doesn't like.
This is all that remains. The first Flux event destroyed many galaxies.
It
Jeez.
doesn't make sense. It's coming from over here. How can you not hear that?
Ah, here we go. That weird house. Oh. You've got your past memories in there.
You will be chair of the Unit Oversight Committee over my dead body.
Oh, now you've said it.
Turn the heating down, Simmons. It's like the reptile house in here.
Ha. You have no idea. Oh.
The Williamson tunnels.
Oh, of course, because he's all about Liverpool's history, because he worked at the museum.
Up in all these different places and times.
Makes sense that he'd know about it.
We've got to find them.
We believe the fabric of space and time is under threat and that Earth is about to be under attack. But we're not sure when, where or who from, and we need to find others who can help us stop it happening.
Finally. There's so little time.
I know, there's only one episode left after this.
The Gallifreyan device.
That universe. Maybe where you're from. Where you began. Your origins, perhaps. Think of discovery.
It's a lot of what ifs, though.
What await us both there.
You were throwing that in her face earlier.
A new start.
Corner for a while.
Aha!
But these are turbulent times, Kate.
I see you. Whatever you are. Hiding in plain sight for so long. I will not let it be sabotaged from within.
You really need to calm down, Kate.
I am
Stop
the head
gaslighting,
of
you
the
prick.
unit. And if you don't stop this, I will expose you.
Uh-oh. It's a hell of a home renovation.
What's good? I have to go dark.
What was that?
Oh dear.
Since All Hallows Eve, all is flux. Some of it always is.
Ah.
Do we have an agreement?
The proposal is acceptable.
Son of a bitch. Heck.
You, me, and the end of the universe. It's personal now. And I'm gonna win.
No.
Oh shit.
You released me. Now I release you.
Oh shit.
Now, Doctor. You.
Okay. Fantastic episode. I loved it. It felt like we got some proper answers about things, and it feels good to get those answers. I really liked the Doctor actually ending up at Division, and that woman we saw before was actually Tecteun. A lot of people did kind of speculate that that's who she could be, so it's cool to see that actually be the case. Dead now, but that's fine. So yeah, it's fun seeing all these different things kind of interconnect, and I think writing wise, Chim's doing a really good job of having a few things happen. You have like some stuff with Swarm and Azure going on. They like get rid of Vinda and everything, and then so much else happens, and so much other like stuff gets focused on. So many characters are in the mix. You almost kind of forget about them for a bit, and then they show up again at the end. You're like, oh shit, yeah, these guys as well. Like they have these links to Division. They have this revenge that they want. So now there's kind of that going on with them as well. So yeah, setting the stage for something quite cool. I do think it's kind of a shame we didn't get more of like the Doctor as a weeping angel and stuff. There's just not enough time really. It kind of all needed to go back to Division and everything. I get that. It's only 6 episodes, but I thought maybe the Doctor being a weeping angel, being transformed into one in a sense, could have been a really cool, interesting idea to play with. But that's just not what this story was about, I suppose. It was more just to transport her to Division. So, fair enough. But it would have been cool to maybe do a bit more with that concept, because doing it again now, it's not going to have that impact, is it? Because we had that cliffhanger last week, which was amazing, and then she instantly just like crumbled out of it and was like, yeah, I'm fine now. But still, getting some proper answers with Tecteun, the Doctor's previous lives and memories stored in the fob watch. I like that idea coming back into it. Learning exactly why Division did what they did, like how they created the Flux and why they did it to try and destroy that universe, and why the Doctor can never find them, because they've been in between universes, I guess, moving from one to the other, preparing for the end. So that's all very cleverly kind of done and worked out, and I like that we kind of got a lot of those answers in this one. And it wasn't it kind of was Timeless Child-esque info dump, when the Master just narrated us this story, but it felt kind of woven into a story as well. It wasn't just sit down and listen to this story of you are the Timeless Child, blah 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 blah. It felt like stuff was happening around all the exposition, which I did enjoy. So yeah, I'm guessing we're going to get even more answers about that. Maybe. I think Swarm and Azure are probably a lot more flippant with giving the Doctor her memories back. So maybe we will get some real insight into what's going on with that, and the black and white house that we've seen a couple of times now. I assume we're going to get some answers about that, how that ties into things. I liked that Tecteun had an Ood. Obviously the Ood was in the trailer for Flux way back when. So it's cool to see them return. There's such a warm presence, I think, about the Ood, so I liked having them around. So yeah, all really interesting with that. I really also liked Yaz, Dan and Jericho travelling around for 3 or so years, probably a bit longer than that by the end of the episode. Based on the Doctor's message that she left for Yaz in her pocket, trying to find someone who predicted the end of the Earth and stuff. And you kind of think back to episode 1, I think it was one of the first scenes. I think it was like the first scene after the credits even. We had Williamson kind of talking to someone, talking about like the coming events or the end times or whatever. And so he was kind of the person that they found, and all the different tunnels he was digging lead to place in different places, and the Flux changed all that up. So different things like that. And I guess like with the Sontarans coming back through, maybe invading some forces, is that who he was shooting at a few episodes back when Dan first encountered him but didn't really encounter him? I don't know how things are all going to tie together like that. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I liked them kind of just doing their little thing. Yaz kind of replaying the thing was quite nice as well, a little emotional moment there. Because it's been quite a while at that point for them, and I like how her and Dan have built up a really strong friendship now, and Jericho coming alongside them. Dan and Jericho was like the comedic duo. Loved them. They were absolutely hilarious. I love Jericho so much. So that was great, and then trying to get that message to Carvanista then ties into his little own story that he had, who then tied into Belle's story because he dragged her along for the ride, and now they're both paired up. So I like how that's all coming together. And she was looking for Vinda. Vinda, kind of found himself hunting her down. Then he got captured by Swarm and Azor and put into passenger. He met with Dai, so they're going to kind of hopefully organise something. And then Swarm and Azor obviously went off to Tectayun and the Doctor then. So how it's all kind of linking, I'm finally getting that picture in my mind of how this is all working out. And yeah, hopefully we will get absolutely all of our questions answered in the next episode. Maybe if not, then, the other 3 specials we have coming before Jodie regenerates, we might get something there. But I feel like we should probably get all the answers we need in this 6 episode arc. Like the Ground Serpent's now on Earth. He's been meddling in Unit's history since God knows when. I think there was a little Brigadier reference maybe. I think, did we hear his voice? I'm not sure. Seems to be referenced that after we watch and check. And they had Pertwee's TARDIS there, I think it was, briefly. I think that was a reference to the demons in Devil's End, I think. I'm not too sure, but I liked those little kind of wink nods that they put into that storyline. And another lingering question, how did he end up on Earth? Why is he going there? Why is his empire, why did it all fall apart? Like he said, he doesn't have that. He hasn't had that for a long time, so did he successfully get exposed by Vinda and all that? It still feels like there's some questions there on exactly where that's building towards. Because I thought he was just going to be part of Vinda's backstory, that was it. But the fact that they've brought him back into it, and he's made a deal to help the Sontarans invade again, have a second attempt on Earth to claim it back. I like how they're coming back into it. So these different elements really kind of culminating in a massive way, and I'm hoping they will be able to wrap it up quite neatly in the next episode. It feels like it needs to be an hour and a half, but we know it's not going to be. So I am concerned that we're going to get to the end of Flux and there's still going to be lots of little questions that haven't been answered, and maybe they just want you to forget about or try and fill in the gaps yourself. Hopefully that's not going to be the case and we get all the key stuff answered, but I can't judge that until we've seen the entire thing. But yeah, seeing him, the Grand Serpent, trying to interfere with Unit's development and have this power over it all this time, it does feel like something that probably should have been mentioned before, but he's only just meddled with it in a way, and with the Flux going on, it's tricky to kind of navigate, whether that should have been a reference in the past or not. I don't know. Obviously they didn't think to do that idea until now, so that's why we haven't had any references to it. But Kate Stewart's back as well. I like that. It was great to see her again. It'd been 6 years, I think, since she'd been in it. I like that she could see through Grand Serpent's bullshit. He tries to kill her anyway, and now she's going dark, so hopefully we'll get a bit more of her in the next one as well. It'd be cool to see her reunite with the Doctor, because we haven't seen her and 13 together yet. But just little glimpses of Unit's history, seeing that built up from the ground up was really fun. And when we heard in Resolution that that Unit had they were shut down, they weren't active anymore, we kind of saw that moment happening, then kind of starting to quiet it down. Obviously that's the Grand Serpent's interference with that. So that was cool to see her back and get some of the supporting characters in there. Where that's all going to lead, I don't know, but still very, very exciting. And yeah, Vinda's own little side quest. I like him and Dai teaming up. and of course he recognised her because he was in Atropos when Dan saw the hologram of her in Passenger. So I like the idea that those two might team up and try and get revenge somehow. All these different storylines just crossing over, and I'm sure it's going to continue to do that in the next one. Like unexpected links between stories are going to form. Like, oh wow, I wouldn't have imagined like Carvinister and Bell now working together. I'm sure we're going to get more moments like that in the next one, and you know, things will tie together quite nicely. And I'm very excited about how it's all going to go and how it's going to wrap up. But yeah, we kind of dedicate a lot of this more so to the Division side of things. So I'm wondering if it is just going to be more so dealing with the Flux itself in the final episode. And the Doctor did talk about maybe reversing everything that happened, like, you know, everything that had been destroyed thus far in this universe. They can apparently reverse it. I mean, that does feel a bit easy and simple, but that's probably going to be what happens because they want Doctor Who to remain set in the same universe it's always been, I would imagine. It would feel weird if they just like, well, this universe is dead, let's go into this one. So yeah, I am intrigued to see what they do with it and how this all gets wrapped up. But man, really great episode. I loved it. You know, when we started off in episode 1, I was like, there's so many different elements. I can't keep track of everything. This is too much. But now we've had like, well, this is our 5th week, kind of getting used to different elements, some stuff being tied up already. You can kind of place it a bit better. I think this is... I know a few people that I know are waiting until Flux finishes next week and then they're going to binge all 6 in one go. I think binging this would be a really good way of watching it, and I think that's something I will do, probably in preparation for the specials starting. So obviously we have our first one on New Year's Day, because then I think this whole story might benefit quite well from binge watching and just, you know, getting in the flow of the story without having to wait a week in between all the chapters. That might make it also more obvious if we don't get some questions answered that had been posed, but you know, sometimes things get cut out, sometimes people forget things, you know, it happens. But hopefully next week they're going to wrap all of this Flux stuff up in a really cool way. So I'd hate for it to kind of end on a whimper when I think these 5 episodes thus far on this series has been really good. I've bloody enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they do to wrap it up, and maybe, well, if they even do wrap it up, maybe this is going to linger on to Jodie's 3 specials before she goes. It could do, because there's a lot to cover, but we'll have to wait and see. And I love Jodie's little kind of mission statement at the end. Obviously, it kind of then suffered from Swarm turning up and killing Tecteun. So when she's like, oh, I'm going to stop Division, I'm going to stop you, all of that, and I'm going to win. I really loved that moment. That felt like 13's confident in herself and her ability. Feels like a little arc in itself, because in Series 11, 13 doubted herself a lot, and she was very kind of socially awkward, very insecure. We saw a bit of that bleeding into Series 12 as well, accentuated by the fact that she was kind of blown away by this revelation that she had all these lives before what she could remember, and she didn't really know who she was from that. And now she's kind of developed this self-confidence and this firm belief in her abilities, and I really like that kind of little arc and journey for her, and I'm sure we'll make good use of that in the finale next time. But yes, fantastic episode, possibly I think it's definitely one of the strongest ones so far. I think it's definitely, I would argue this is the best written one so far, I think. I don't know if it's my absolute favourite, because I really liked episode 3 and 4 in particular, but we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. Loved all the focus on Division stuff and Tecteun, and getting a lot of answers about what Division do, what they're up to, where they've been, what they made the Flux for and everything, and lots of other things coming back into it or just being introduced for the first time in this episode to set the stage for an excellent finale next week, hopefully. So yes, excited for that. Connor should be back with me next week. We might briefly talk about his thoughts on episode 5 at some point, before we get into the episode or not. I don't know if we'll have time, but either way, I'm really, really hyped for the finale next week. I can't believe how quickly Flux has gone by, but I've really enjoyed it, and hopefully you guys have as well. It has been nice to see such positive responses to Doctor Who Online. Because I know this era hasn't been for everyone. I know people haven't necessarily loved Chibnall and Jodie's run on the show. I've personally really enjoyed it. But I'm glad that for their final series on the show, it is getting a lot of love. It's very wholesome to see. So yes, I'm very, very excited for next week. Hopefully it's going to be a fantastic end to what's been a fantastic series thus far. So I will see you then. I think Connor will probably be there as well, all being well. So yeah, that's going to be everything for now. And until my next reaction, thanks for watching.